Hey, welcome back. It's LuminousStress, where we're always stressed out. That was one heck of a build, and it might be one of the hardest builds I did. Being underwater, I was constantly being attacked by drowns. But having said that, I am really happy with the way this tower turned out. And if we jump down in here, the fog actually gets a little worse for a minute. But you can see it's very similar to two other towers that we built. This one is a little different in that there is no access from down below. The way we get into this is only by dropping in the top. We do, of course, have a beacon down here with some effects, and then below that we have our conduit. And I put off to the one side here, which is kind of a cool waterfall effect, but I moved my nether portal down here as well. So all of my warping options are all here in one place. So as you can see on this build, there was a ton of prismarine required. I've got dark prismarine, I've got regular prismarine, I've got some other, mixes of the variants in here, and I used some warped stem and some of that as well. But to build this tower actually took 2 farms, and I'll show you those real quick. The first one is real simple. I borrowed a couple of tutorials for it, but it is over here. And this is, this was actually a river. Believe it or not, this registered in Minecraft as a river biome. And from where I'm standing right here, all the way across where we've got this building to over there. Matter of fact, if we come down here, you can kind of see, because I got rid of all the water, and it kind of goes in both directions, and I just filled it with air for the short term. But you can see down in here, simple collection, and we are getting a ton of ink. The ink was required for the dark prismarine, and of course, to get the dark prismarine, we had to build a guardian farm, which I will go to now. Okay, on the top up here, I've got just a little platform with some lights and the dark prismarine, but you can see as I look down, we had to build a guardian farm, and I will drop down using the free cam because I don't want to actually fly down here and get killed. This is a simple farm. I just copied a tutorial off of. You build 4 portals in the front there. We've got some soul sand down below, and as these guys spawn in, they get pushed up and into these nether portals, go to the nether, get killed. Real simple farm, easy tutorial to follow, but that allowed us to get all of the shards and things that we needed to get the proper prismarine. So yeah, I had to build 2 farms here to ultimately build that tower, but that's okay. It's I'm really happy with the way everything turned out, and now we have this area which will probably turn into my first shop in the shopping district. I think what we'll do is we'll build a space, and we'll start selling all of these sea tipple stuff and see if we have any takers in that. And of course, I'll probably sell a bunch of ink sac as well, because why not? But as you can see, we've got some more exploring to do, and not everything's loading in around here. So I'm going to fly around and do some of that, and I will catch you guys later back at the lake. So this is going to be our shopping district. It is in the beginning places. You can see a couple of people are starting to do some builds. That's my bed from earlier. We don't need that. But I'm going to go ahead and put on some gear so I don't get attacked. And I'm going to zoom out, and maybe we'll hit F4 and go into free cam. And this is another tower that I built. This one is similar on the bottom, but I did a completely different roof design on this one. And of course, this one you can enter from all 4 sides, which is kind of a neat effect. Used a lot of candles down here, and that is to get some light in here at night. And this was an expensive tower to build. You don't think about it, but that's a lot of deep slate. And I used 3 different types of deep slate on this one. So I've got tiles for the roof, I've got polished on these arches, and then a ton of regular bricks, and then of course some cut deep slate for that effect there. Very happy with this tower. This one might be the best interior design of a tower that I've built so far, which was important because people are going to be seeing that a lot more. But yeah, from the outside, it is, other than the roof, it is actually very, very similar. So I'm pretty happy with that. And with that, let's head back to the lake because I want to work on a couple of builds over there today. Okay, I'm back at my home base area, and as you can see, I've been doing a lot of terraforming down here. I've brought in a lot of mud and really converted a lot of dirt to mud, and I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. And I might have over bone milled it, and you know, that's okay. The only thing I have down here, other than apparently right here, I'm trying to leave it where it's all either gravel or mud. I might come back later. I've got some areas to cover up still, but I might come back later and remove some of the gravel. It might end up being too much, I'm not sure, but I want this shell, so we're gonna kill this guy. Perfect. And we are gonna go back up here so we can start thinking about what we're gonna build up here next to our house in this main lake. So if you remember, I said previously I want to surround this whole lake with a bunch of just bright colored houses. I've got some wheat farm over there, and it's the old school farm where it's just wheat growing and I go manually knock it down. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave that or take that out. Also, back up here behind these trees, we have a bunch of animals still, and of course there were some bees. I don't know if there's any bees left. I haven't seen any in a minute. But we've got tons of animals. We need to do something with this. Ultimately, I need to work on a sheep farm probably really soon, and then we need to get them all different dyed colors so that we can get all of the wool that we'll need for the bright colors for the buildings we're going to put around here. But the first one I'm going to build, I think, is going to be a little A-frame, and I've got an idea to use some mangrove and maybe some brick on that. I just need to figure out where to put it, and honestly, I'm thinking right over here somewhere, where right here next to this little grove. We'll have to maybe make the dirt a little bit bigger or cut into the hillside, either one. And then I've also been thinking about maybe a good spot to put it would be just over here. I could flatten this out really easy. We can remove that tree and it might fit right here really well. This has been a couple of days in real life since I was on here last, and I'm geared up because I've been running around doing some stuff, but I realize we've got a slight problem here. Yeah, I've got tons of supplies and stuff left over, and some of it has a home or it needs to find its home, but I don't have storage for some of this. So you can see over there using Litematica, I kind of drew in my next build, which we're going to work on shortly, and that will give me some storage for some of the prismarine items. And you know, it's Litematica. There's probably settings that I don't know how to use. It's hard to zoom in here and actually get a great view of what this is. But yeah, let's get building on that. And I should have everything I need right here in these chests, because it's not that big of a build. So yeah, let's get going. This should actually be pretty quick. I guess I need to clear out some of the items first, but yep, we got a silk touch right here, so that'll be fine. Okay, and just like that, we've got a very simple shed. And oops, man, every single time, what do you know? I always forget one. And I think there's probably a hole on top I got to go look to now that I think about it, because I saw it earlier and I don't think I patched it yet. And yep, right there, I need a stair. See, I knew there was another one. Okay, so we'll come back in here. Everything's labeled. We'll grab a dark stair. We'll come back up here and we will fix the hole. Boom. And now, just like that, it's a simple shed, nothing fancy. I think I'll put a couple boats here just to kind of make it look like, you know, it's the boat shed. And I'm going to go into free cam so we can zoom out here. And you can see it's a little splash of color. And I remember how I said I want to surround this whole area with lots of color. And this is very subtle, which I did on purpose because I want this one to kind of blend into the hillside. So there's just enough green to match the grass, but there's enough bright on the prismarine down there to really kind of make the floor stand out, and it makes it look nice and bright in there. Of course, sea lanterns on top, and we used warp stem because it blends really good and gives us that texture. I got a little glass here just to kind of mix it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to go and take care of this mess right here. And I think I have a home for all of this. It just needs to go somewhere else. So I'm going to get this out of here. And when we come back, I've got all the supplies we need to build an A-frame. And I'm not sure where we're going to put that exactly. So I've built it on another world. We'll load it in here in Litematica and we'll kind of move it around and see where we want it to go. I was kind of hoping over there, maybe where those spruce trees are, next to that oak tree. But yeah, we'll just kind of see where we think it fits best. We could also put it up on a hill slightly, which would mean we could put it like maybe over there or over here, and then do like some stairs down to another dock. But yeah, in the short term, I'm going to go empty my shulker mess that is in my inventory right now, and we'll be right back. All right, as we wake up from a new day, I did get some of the shulker boxes out of here. We need this one because it is going to be what we need for our A-frame. And you can see I got all these shulker boxes emptied, so I'm happy with that. I am going to need a stick, however, if we're going to use Litematica. So one of the cool things about this program is we can use it to kind of visualize what a build might look like before we are completely done, or rather before we build it. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to take these trees down right here because I'm really thinking about putting it back here in this area. So we'll start by getting rid of this oak tree, and then we'll move over and take the spruce out as well. Okay, and I kind of like this placement right here where it's just tucked into the bottom, but I might try pushing it back just a little bit. And I also kind of want to see what it would look like over here before we build too far. So maybe I'll take these trees down as well and just see what I think about it over there. All right, well, it's a good thing I brought this shulker box along because we are just about going to fill it with the supplies that we got from knocking down all those trees. But I can load another copy of this house and we can see what it's going to look like right here. Now we're going to have to rotate it. Okay, so we've got it rotated and loaded, and I don't know. I actually think I like it over here better. So I think I'm going to remove this dirt cropping, and we might put a new one here, but we'll kind of move that. And I think we're going to build this house right here. So let's get started. And just like that, we have a completed little cottage here over on the corner, and I will flip around and we'll go inside and take a look. I've got this nice checkered floor. I like it. I know it's kind of stands out maybe in a little contrast. Ooh, and I need to replace those probably. But anyway, I like the floor in here. I think it matches. I got the pressure plates on the doors, obviously. And come upstairs, and it's just a simple sleeping quarters. Tons of barrels that are all empty. I'm not sure if I'll put anything in them at all. But I do need to get some books on here so the bookshelf's not empty. And I did frog lights up top with, I like the way that turned out with the mangrove trapdoors. So yeah, just a little simple A-frame, nothing too fancy. Probably don't need 2 doors, but I like the symmetry of how it looks. Unfortunately, it's raining right now, but you can see I did take out that little pile that was sitting there. And man, yeah, I like that tucked into the little woods here. So I'm gonna get some water bottles, and we're gonna come around here and make some of that dirt mud that's down there just so it blends in better. And you can see the A-frame's not completely symmetrical. It's almost like there should be something else right here, but I'm gonna leave it. I like it built into the hillside like that. It makes this window a little odd, but that's okay. Like I said, I like the overall look of it. A little bit of pale oak in there, got just some contrast, and of course we've got our chimney and everything. And yeah, I'm really happy with the way this turns out, especially because as if we fly away and turn around here, we're starting to get that color in to our little lake here. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I'm not sure what we're gonna build next, but I think I'm gonna start off with at least one building with every major wood. So we got mangrove, we got pale oak. I'm standing on an oak house right now with the dark oak accent, but that's an oak house. So we've got dark oak still, we've got cherry wood still, we've got no, I just did mangrove, but we've got the other wood species to deal with, acacia and yeah, so I think we'll get those, get some more houses going with that, and just slowly start populating our lake here with a little community. I think I need to build a logging camp somewhere. And the reason why is I need to get rid of, well, I don't have good storage for my log situation right now for my woods. So I think that is going to be on the table soon, but I don't know if I'll do that in the next episode or later on after that. I think that'll be it for today. So yeah, as the rain comes down on me, I think I'll run in the cottage here and say good night. And we will see you next time. Remember, this is a LuminousStress, where we're always stressed out. But hey, maybe not today. It was a good day. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.